Hello everybody, my name is Gabriel from Suma Networks and I'm going to briefly explain to you the topic of LTE and 5G private networks that is making a lot of noise these days. I hope you enjoy the presentation that is divided into parts. Okay, let's start talking about what they are. So LTE 5G private networks are mobile networks technically the same as the public ones, but allowing the owner to provide priority access, isolation, and licensing for its wireless spectrum. LTE private networks are based on 4G or EPC core network, whereas 5G private networks are based on 5G core. An user device can also use at the same time LTE and 5G, and are compatible with public networks as well. They also intend to replace private Wi-Fi networks or other proprietary technology in some scenarios. Moreover, a smooth transition is expected from LTE to 5G private networks. And finally, a SIM card is required to operate with. Let us now see some of the benefits that private networks have. We see better wireless coverage than Wi-Fi in large geographic areas, underground and inside buildings or other facilities. They are also more secure because they encrypt data by default. In addition, we have NOS LTE networks as backup if we need it. And they provide a more predictable and stable wireless experience that requires less maintenance in contrast with Wi-Fi, that is unlicensed spectrum and frequency band that can get congested. Finally, over cable network solution, it allows to skip wires entirely. Now move on and see a comparison table with some numbers between Wi-Fi 6, which is the last standard, and the private LTE and 5G networks. In the case of environment, Wi-Fi is focused in office, homes and transportation hubs, whereas the private network are for all kinds of environments. In the case of speed, we see similar numbers, but for 5G it is in initial version. However, in the case of density, there are more differences, because the Wi-Fi is mainly designed for home office digital density. In contrast, the others are designed for more connection. In case of 5G, up to 1 million connections per square kilometer. Now move to the mobility. Wi-Fi is designed for fixed location, and the private networks allow some kind of roaming between different networks. And at the end, let's compare the latency and reliability. Wi-Fi gives 100 milliseconds but no guarantee low latency. Then private LTE is about 40 to 50 milliseconds. And finally, the private 5G supports ultra-reliable low latency and sub-millisecond and signal reliability, which is very remarkable. Now let's see some of the use cases. So according to a Deloitte report, the private network will be especially adopted in 3 main areas. 1. Factories and warehouses. 2. Ports, airports, and similar logistic hubs. And finally, venues like office, stadium, universities. And talking about the company which might adopt private networks, we can separate in 2 categories. The very largest companies are likely to install private networks using fully owned infrastructure and dedicated spectrum. Secondly, medium-sized and smaller companies are more likely to lease network equipment, outsource network management, and sublease spectrum. In some cases, use unlicensed spectrum. In conclusion, LTE 5G private network brings a lot of advantage, and we would like you to join us in this wave of innovation, because Suma Network has the right software components to set up a successful LTE 5G private network. Thank you very much for watching us, and in the next video I will talk more in detail about 5G private networks and how Suma 5G products fit so well in the new 5G ecosystem.